For those of you who are huge fans of Mark Passio like I am, you will get to see him at his final uh, public presentation, unless he gets some help in Philadelphia. Until then, this might be the last one. It's going to be in Phoenix, Arizona on March 10th. It's called the Truth Mind Reality Conference. And I am lucky enough to have Ivan, the host of the conference, on my show right now. Ivan, how are you?
I'm great, Keith. You woke me up a little early. I had overtime last night till like 12:30 in the morning, making these Federal Reserve notes to pay for this conference. So, you know how it is.
Absolutely. Ivan, what is natural law?
What is natural law? Man, you're jumping right into it. Well, natural law, I guess you can base that on what? The non-aggression principle, the hermetic principles, just a bit of everything that what reality consists of, right? That's what we've gathered from much of the work of Mark Passio, especially his natural law seminar back from 2013, 14 that he did. So for me, natural law is living by the laws that the universe or God or creation has set out for us, not man-made laws, which sometimes get construed as the law because they take some of natural law and say, hey, we made this up and this is the law. And, that becomes the authority instead of law, natural law being the authority itself. So basic stuff like, do no harm, the golden principle, pretty much.
What is money, and does society need money to flourish?
I think I might coin a term here. I haven't heard it, but you and I spoke a few days ago, and I threw out, how we have status and statism. So, and that's the belief in authority or government. So with money, why not just call it proxyism or proxius, because that I would describe that as believing that something has to come in place of what you want to acquire, what you need. And what I mean by that is instead of just getting the food, clothing, shelter, you can't get that directly. You have to get something that comes before that. So in order to get that, you need the dollars, you need the yen, you need the cryptocurrency, whatever it is, something that represents what you want to get instead of getting what you actually need. So a proxy. So that's what I would describe money as. Or as Passio has said, it's the resistance in the system.
What is a conspiracy theorist?
Conspiracy theorist. That is the term conspiracy theorist as defined by the CIA back after the Kennedy assassination, and get people to feel guilty about asking questions. It's like, oh, you're a conspiracy theorist. It's like, shaming someone. That's one thing. But conspiracy theorist, I would say, is just someone who theorizes about conspiracies. You have a theory of two or more people coming together to hatch a plan, either with nefarious intentions or, to capitalize on a situation or something, So that's what I would define it as.
Yeah, so the document Ivan's referring to, you got to read this memo. It's document 1035-960 regarding criticisms of the Warren Commission. This is just a small intro into some of the things that we're going to be talking about at the Truth Mind Reality Conference in Phoenix, Arizona on March 10th. Mark Passio is going to be there. I got the confirmed speakers right here. Sonia Barrett is going to be there. She's at therealsoniabarrett.com. Mike Basek from Greater Phoenix Mutual Aid Prosperity and Safety Society. Steve Cohn of the 9/11 Studies Outreach Club at Arizona State University. Mark Devlin's going to be there. Lennon Honor's going to be there. Irene Pai is going to be there. Ivan and myself will be there, most importantly. And finally, Mark Passio from What on Earth is Happening will be there. Ivan, it's $35 for a ticket. What are people going to get when they buy a ticket? I look forward to.
They can look forward to a whole bunch of information that they don't get from their schools, from their churches, or from their government, basically. So anyone familiar with the Free Your Mind conferences, this is kind of the same template. I was an assistant organizer for two of those conferences, Free Your Mind 2 and 3. Kind of like yourself, I bought a ticket for the first Free Your Mind, showed up there a day early to see what was going on, and they ended up needing help, and I just jumped right in and started helping, and that took off. So now with this conference, you've offered assistance. You already bought your ticket, but you've showed interest in wanting to assist. So hey, you're assistant organizer, whatever we need, and just chip in. But as far as the conference goes, yeah, it's a day-long conference, one day, just to get a feel for how Phoenix is, if it's that awake and aware to have a few hundred people show up or not. And it's just going to be a lot of information on vaccines, on the music industry, on society's condition right now, humanity, whether we're society intent on freeing ourselves or letting ourselves be enslaved, relationships and how they're influenced by media such as TV, movies, music, and all kinds of good stuff. Some 9/11 information, some solutions with Mike Basic's presentation as far as living without the dependency on government or corporations. So it's a bit of everything.
So here's why I wanted to do this video with Ivan. I want to get the word out about this conference because I spent $13,000 on an attempt at a college education, which I dropped out of. And I not only didn't learn anything, which would be bad, I learned things that were so wrong, it put me under what could be the lightly described as mind control. Now, in trying to escape this this brainwashed cult, I've met people like Ivan by going to these meetings, by having these conversations, and I really think it would be great to get people out there. Also, it might be Mark Passio's last public appearance. For God's sakes, come down and shake his hand. We're going to be able to talk about the events of 9/11. I mean, such an important event that fewer and fewer people believe the official story as time goes on. I mean, it took until the year 2000 in a book called Day of Deceit by Robert Sinnott for the truth about Pearl Harbor to be revealed. That's a must-read book. So it only comes out because people get together, they share knowledge, they share their research, they share their ideas, they listen to speakers, they get to meet those speakers in person, and I think it's so great. Ivan, I really appreciate you putting on this conference for us. I have the links to where you can buy tickets and the site you can visit to get some more information on it. Ivan, any final words? Anything else people can look forward to?
What I would say is that with this conference, my intention is to kind of shake the tree and see what falls out, because you're a very bright young guy. You just told me your age a few weeks ago, and you're about between the age of my youngest and my oldest. So you're right in the middle. My youngest is 19, my oldest is 23. You're right there at 21. And you're very well read. You're mentioning books and quotes and all this kind of stuff that I'm like, I'm familiar with that. Haven't read those books, but man, this young kid, he's got all this knowledge bouncing around in his head. So another 10 years or so, when you're one of the main, hopefully, movers and shakers out here in the world, you're the next generation. You're not going to be talking about, yo, Kanye for president, yo, you're not gonna, going from Trump to Oprah to Kanye, oh God, help us. But you have some real thoughts in your head, and you're doing something with it. Just like me, I'm not very, well read as you are. I'm already approaching 50, but yet for the first 40 years of my life, or so 35 years of my life, like you said, you went to some college and started getting some of that programming, and you stopped. My education didn't come from college. It's regular elementary school, some high school, and then into the workforce. So I'm just your regular average guy, and that's the name of my podcast, Guy Next Door Speaks. Nothing really special, but yet some of the information needed reached me, and it changed how I thought. And then I decided to do something with it, with the website, a podcast, a meetup group, and now a conference. And hopefully, with this conference, some of this information, covering like 5, 6, 7 different topics, will touch someone in a certain way that will trigger something, and maybe they'll start reading books like you're doing, and maybe they'll start, doing little some YouTube videos, or maybe someday even having their own conferences, bringing in their people. And that's the idea, is to keep this ball rolling, because it's a long way from reaching its, end goal, as slow as society is moving. So, and that goes with part of Passio's quote unquote rant. He's gone 10 years doing this, and the way things look, it's like a very small bit of people that have actually woken up and started to do something. So we have a long way to go. And this conference is, just another part, to try and keep that boulder moving.
The intellectual powers that be did not see the 2008 recession coming, supposedly. They didn't. It's taken them 16 years to try and defeat ISIS, when German National Socialism took 4 years to defeat. If you think the answers are to be found at CNN and Fox News, I don't know how long. I don't know what it's going to take for you to start questioning. And I think attending places like this conference is a great way to start and get answers. Also visit whatonearthishappening.com. I got this this Mark Passio shirt on there. Help that guy out. He's done so much great work. It would be a shame for him to spend his time doing anything else. Ivan, thanks so much for coming on the show again. Arizona, it's in Phoenix, Arizona, March 10th. I got tickets in the description below. They're $35. I promise it'll be well worth the price, especially when I see my goddamn student loan debt that I'm still fucking paying off. All right, Ivan, thanks so much for coming on my show.
Hey, Keith, anytime, man. Welcome to the great work, and continue the great work.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Keith Knight, don't tread on anyone.